All right, I hear that the Shaman is, the guy from the assault on the Temple of Democracy on the 6th of January, has been sentenced by a federal district court judge this morning to 41 months in prison. That's 3.5 years. That he in a federal prison. I think in the feds you have to do every day. I don't think he had any good time off. I don't know, maybe he would serve part of that. But that's the Shaman. That's the guy. Y'all remember him? He's the most famous photo guy. This guy actually stood up in the well and went up to Nancy Pelosi's desk and Speaker's desk and went up to the Speaker's majority leader desk in the Senate. That guy was all over the place, right? He's a weird looking guy. Can I share this with y'all? You don't make it racist or anything, right? Throw this picture back up there one more time and send you them. But I figured out, what is this? This guy, what is it? Was some sort of a Viking or something? What is this? What's this culture? Was he a Navajo Indian or something like that? What is it? Well, he got all them tattoos. It was cold January in Washington. This boy ain't got on no shirt at all. You know what we black people think about y'all white people? Y'all don't ever get cold. We stay cold all the time. Anyway. So, I wonder what would happen, if that had been a black man with them bull horns on his head and all that fur and stuff, all them police probably would have shot him. No, I'm telling you, he actually went up he left a note for Nancy Pelosi. Anyway, he's been sentenced to 41 months by a judge. His lawyer said he shouldn't be sentenced at all. Because he's mentally unstable. Hell, that's all more reason why you won't lock him up. If he's mentally unstable and doing that kind of stuff, you don't need to be on the street. How about 82 months, So I don't know if that argument didn't fly very well. Some other guy got 41 months this past Friday, a week ago. But anyway, I heard that they were trying to get this boy, Mark Meadows, down in North Carolina. That's my state, North Carolina, right? Mark Meadows. He was Trump's last, if you will, person who was in charge of the White House, right? Official and all that kind of stuff. Chief of staff guy. And somebody is leaking information to the January 6th committee that Mark Meadows was using a private telephone, not a government-issued phone, to discuss the tactics of, hotels and bills and meals and marches and, for the 6th of January, and was using that private phone. I don't know if it's true, but that's what they got out on the grapevine, that Mark Meadows was using a private telephone to talk to some of the leaders that were assaulting the Temple of Democracy on that day. And they were using WhatsApp. Y'all know what WhatsApp? WhatsApp is an encrypted. Can't nobody break it. What I hear, WhatsApp is an app, telephone app where you can make phone calls, but it's encrypted, so they can't break in. And what the rumor is now is that Mark Meadows was using an encrypted app with not a government issue. This was not a government phone. That way, because it was government business and could, declare executive privilege. But no, I understand. Oh, that's what I hear. It's out on the grapevine. I could be wrong, and I'll apologize if I am. But it's on this pretty good grapevine I'm hearing this from, that Mark Meadows was actually giving instructions to those that were assaulting the Temple of Democracy back on the 6th of January. And they want that Benny Thompson boy, who's the head of that committee, wants to talk to Mark Meadows. But Mark Meadows is saying, well, I got executive privilege. I was Trump's chief of staff, and so everything I say between me and Trump is confidential. Well, I don't know. We're going to find out, I think. They may be able to stonewall to the point where, here's what I think. I think that if the Republicans keep stonewalling the way they're stonewalling, like that fellow I had on earlier today, this Representative Anthony Gonzalez from down there in Cuba, who's a congressman rather. I think what's going to happen is that they're going to keep these Republicans, these MAGA hat people, going to keep on fooling around here, and Republicans are going to help Democrats win the House in 2022 and the Senate. They keep fooling around here because, Trump got everybody scared. That Trump is threatening everybody. That Fred Upton boy who's been in Congress for nearly 50 years from there in Michigan, Fred Upton. Everybody knows Fred Upton. And they were calling his house, calling him an MF, said his wife was an MF and an FF, and said, I hope his family dies, the staff dies. Fred Upton's a Republican, but he voted against Trump. He voted for the impeachment, And so I think what you're going to have happen, I could be wrong about this, but I will say to the Trump, people, the Trumpeteers or Trumpkins or whoever you are, that you better watch your moves, because you may end up where Trump has threatened so many people and so many people's lives have been threatened, like they tried to take that woman governor of Michigan. They wanted to go in there and kidnap her and hold her for ransom. You're probably going to have some Republicans who are going to say, wait a minute, we finally got to get rid of Trump, and we need to get rid of all. So I think they may give more power to, you may see Nancy Pelosi gaining the House by 50 seats in 2022. And Chuck Schumer may get the Senate in 2022, because people are realizing that all these threats about, people killing one another, white people talking about killing white people, white politicians talking about killing white politicians, talking about hang Mike Pence, hang Mike Pence. What the hell is that? Hang Mike Pence, hang Mike Pence. These white people talking about hang another white vice president, hang Mike Pence, hang Mike Pence, hang Mike. I mean, we're saying hanging black people. I don't want to be funny about that and make a joke out of that. But you ain't never heard nothing like that. Hang a white man, hang a white man. It's like hanging Cat Ballou. Cat Ballou. Anyway, so I would say to Trump and his boys, y'all better watch your stuff. You're going to fool around here and get these Republicans all riled up and have them all scared to death, all their children going to go out. I mean, if you just get the young white conservative children, 18 years old and able to vote, who's now saying, these old white men are cussing, calling on the telephone and cussing out my mama, cussing out my daddy, and talking about they're going to kill all of us. These young white children, old enough to vote Republican, might decide to just go full-throated Democrat. And you'll end up with Democrats in the White House, Democrats ruling the House, represented by 50 votes, and the Senate as well. Y'all better watch yourself. You better watch your game out there, because this thing done gone buck. Wow. It don't go, and then you got people like Chris Christie running around here talking about, the election wasn't stolen. You got a whole lot of Republicans. Hell, Mark Meadows, Mitch McConnell, Kevin McCarthy, they all know the election wasn't stolen either. They're just playing the game, because they don't want nobody calling their house and cussing out their wife and threatening their children and following their children from school. So they're playing the game. Because Trump done put a mafioso thing on there. Hell, they were talking about hanging Mike Pence, for crying out loud. Where you ever hear that in America? Now, we hear about hanging black folk, but hang a white man? Oh, no. I'm telling y'all, Trump people, you better watch your stuff. You're going to end up, you can't be talking about killing these men's families and children and raping their wives and all that. You can't be doing that and think they're going to still vote for you. I see some crazy stuff in my life, but this takes the cake. I swear, if we're not in the tribulation, Lord help us when we get there. Lord help us when we get there. The tribulation will have to take lessons from Trump. If this ain't the tribulation, the showing of Jesus prophesied tribulation will have to take lessons from these white folk that follow Trump. I swear before God and 7 other white men. No, this is something. We're into something here. At any rate, everybody, I'm James David Manning. I'm the Lord's servant. And don't you ever forget it.